Wake that ass up.
Early in the morning.
The Breakfast Club.
Morning, everybody. It's DJ MV Angela Yee, Charlamagne the Guy. We are the Breakfast Club. We got a special guest in the building.
My good brother.
Bakari Sellers. Welcome back, sir.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here again.
Bakari has a documentary out right now, While I Breathe I Hope, streaming on PBS.org as we speak.
Yeah, it's a blessing. Emily Harrell was the documentarian.
What up, Emily?
Charlamagne the God is an executive producer.
Charlamagne the God.
He's getting his credits up.
Oh.
Yeah. It chronicles my race for lieutenant governor. I have to have my Soldier Boy moment real quick because I started these politicians coming up here to the Breakfast Club back in 2014. During Black History Month. We were doing real Black history before anybody else came up here, so I started that.
That is true.
I need my credit for that.
No, that is true.
People to come up here.
That's right. That's right. But
we used to have a lot of, I guess, more spiritual leaders, but the first politicians was definitely Bakari.
That's right. No, but it chronicles my race for lieutenant governor. It talks about the Orangeburg Massacre, February 8th, 1968, that my father was shot, wounded, and incarcerated in, and it talks about the Charleston Massacre, the kind of bookends of tragedy in my life. And it's a dope documentary, so I hope people watch it. Any teachers listening, show it to your students if you're on college campuses. It's only an hour and, 72 minutes, so it's an hour and 12 minutes long, so just give it a listen, give it a watch, and spread the word about it.
It was just the anniversary of the massacre, if I'm not mistaken,
51 years ago. It was February 8th is when 3 students were killed, Henry Smith, Samuel Hammond, and Delano Middleton, and another 28 were wounded. My father was shot, and he was the only person. All 9 officers who fired shots into the students were found not guilty. And my dad was charged, tried, and convicted of rioting, and served a little bit of time on death row, and then the rest at CCI, the Columbia Correctional Institution, before they tore it down.
Wow.
You mentioned your father having similar dreams, but y'all was from 2 different time periods. So how does that feel?
Well, we had similar tragedies. I mean, my father lived through the Orangeburg Massacre, and I lived through the Charleston Massacre, which you know. I mean, I was friends with Clemente Pinckney. I was down there. I was 2 blocks away when Dylan Roof walked into that church and killed 9 people. One of which was my friend Clemente, and his wife was in the church, Jennifer, that night. His daughter was in the church that night, and so it was it was really tough. And Charlamagne, you ask me all the time why didn't Charleston act like Baltimore or some other cities, and why wasn't there violence? And I think that a lot of times we get somewhat immune to desensitized to that type of hate because we've seen it so often. And so my father lived through 68 and I lived through 2015, and unfortunately racism is still very much a part of the fabric of this country that we live in.
People are always talking now about with Donald Trump, how people who are racist feel that they have a lot more energy now. They can come forward and be just the racist person that they are openly with no issues. Do you feel like things are worse?
Well, let me
say
now. Well, I mean, I think it's a country problem. It's not just a South problem now. And racism didn't start with Donald Trump by any means. But now it may be more pronounced. I always challenge people. I say, what was the most amazing part about Charlottesville when you had all those Nazis and everybody marching? The most amazing part is that they didn't wear masks. They didn't wear hoods. They were able to come out in the streets. And those people are your bank officers, they're your teacher's assistants, your physician's assistants. They work with your kids every day. Those are the people who, create the systems of oppression, as I call them. So now you're free to be racist in this country, and you don't have to be ashamed about it. I'm old enough to remember when racists hit and they didn't come outside.
Yeah.
They used to whisper in their cliques, but now they will tell you on the internet and everywhere else. They will call you nigger and everything else. You should just look at all you got to do is look at my Twitter feed, and you'll see all of that.
What do you think about the presidential candidates that are coming out now? Whether it's
a lot of
Kamala
them.
Harris or it's Cory Booker, or who are you liking?
Well, first of all, I like the fact that we almost had 4 black candidates. Deval Patrick said no. Eric Holder's still thinking about it, but you have Kamala and Cory, and then you have 4 women running. You have Kamala running, you have Amy Klobuchar running, you have Elizabeth Warren. And you have Kirsten Gillibrand from right here in New York. I'm a big Kamala Harris fan. I mean, not only do you have the sentimental value of having your black daughter able to look at someone and say that I too can be president of the United States.
Absolutely.
Not only do you have someone who has these continuous connections with the black community, going to Howard, being an AKA, doing all of those things. But when you look at her record, it's one that if you actually ask those questions, which you all did, so thank you for that. This interview that she had on the Breakfast Club was probably the most enlightening one that she's had in recent memory. You see someone who not only has a record, but also has policies going forward. So I'm excited about her candidacy. I think it's going to energize the Democratic Party, but it's a lot of people running for president.
How do black people I don't want to say look past her criminal justice record, because I don't think they should look past it. I think they should research it, study it, critique it. But she was a prosecutor. Prosecutors lock people up.
That's true.
I don't know how you look.
I mean, being a prosecutor is like being a law enforcement officer. It should not discredit you from being an elected official. You have to. I mean, we need more people we need more black folk to be prosecutors in this country. We need more black folk to be police officers in this country. We can't excommunicate them from our community if we expect those processes and systems to change. And so when you look at her record, like the truancy legislation that she pushed or bill that she wanted to pass or implement, programs she wanted to implement, parents weren't arrested.
Yeah, she never locked anybody up.
She never locked anybody up. But what happens was kids started going to school more, which was the purpose of it.
It was a scare tactic.
It was a scare tactic. It worked. Yeah. It worked. It got more parents involved in their kids' lives. When you look at how she feels about marijuana, which that clip of y'all is going viral and going everywhere. And
she said she inhaled.
She inhaled. That's fine.
But previously, she wasn't for legalizing marijuana.
Well, I mean, I think that currently you have to look at what the policies people want to implement, and I think that whether or not you're locking people up for a sugar packet of marijuana is one thing, but legalizing it is something that is relatively new when it comes to policy. You have to remember she was a prosecutor and a DA back during the lock 'em up 90s and 2000s.
Yeah.
You know, that was when everybody was saying lock 'em up and throw away the key. And she was decently progressive during that time. So the question is, what did you do? What are you doing now? I mean, we have the First Steps Act because of people like her. And what will you do in the future? And do you have an agenda that black folk can cling on to? Do you have an agenda that lifts up our people? And that's a legitimate question that has to be asked.
The Washington Times put out an article yesterday. They said Kamala Harris and Cory Booker.
Kamala.
I'm sorry.
She's not doing it.
Kamala. I'm sorry, Senator Harris.
It's Kamala.
I'm sorry, Senator Kamala. Kamala Harris and Cory Booker failed to inspire black people. How do you feel about that?
I mean, that's the Washington Times, though. I mean, that's a very conservative newspaper. But black people, I mean, listen, you can't just parachute in and talk about you going to go tailgate at Hampton or Howard and then go to a black church and think you're going to get the black vote.
Right.
Even if you are black. It don't work that way.
Yeah.
And so they have to inspire. I think that the bar cannot be Barack Obama, though. I think that's what a lot of people are hoping for. I mean, we're never going to have that again. We're not going to have another 2008 Barack Obama. That's fine. I'll take a 2020 Kamala Harris or 2020 Cory Booker.
Kamala got a blacker background than Barack, if we're being honest, though.
What you mean?
A blacker background, yes. Born in Oakland, Howard, a.k.a., I mean,
they're both black.
that's what
I don't understand who has to be blacker than the other person.
No, but I'm just saying she does have a blacker background.
And Angela hit on something, because you had this new age like Twitter trolls.
Like, you're not black enough.
You're not black enough.
I'm not black enough.
Like,
you went to Harvard. You're not black.
What
Like,
does that
that's
mean?
crazy.
Like, you didn't share. What are you talking about?
They say it to me all the time.
The diaspora.
Well, you're not.
I am.
No, Envy, stop. We're not doing this. You're Dominican.
I am not Dominican.
You're Dominican?
I'm black.
You're
No,
Dominican?
I'm black. I'm black.
Everybody want to be black now. Be Dominican, bro.
I am black. Go ahead. Bakari, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm just saying that everybody now wants to judge your blackness, and I just think that's BS.
Like, is there a scale, like on a scale of 1 to 10, how black is, like, you're black?
Y'all say that until Omarosa and Ben Carson walk in the room.
identify
Y'all don't want to claim
They're
them.
black.
Listen,
We just look at them as traitors, but they're black.
they are black.
You know?
They are black. And don't worry, I tell everyone, these United States of America have an interesting way of reminding people they are black. So they may not get it right now, but Omarosa and Ben Carson will get a fierce reminder from this country of what their skin tone is.
I do feel like Kamala is a great candidate, and I feel like she's a real threat, because it seems like they are really going hard to discredit her.
I mean, she's a black woman. I mean, you think about the things that black women go through in this country and how they try to get discredited. I mean, she goes through the same thing that black women go through every single day at the office. You know, where they have white men or men in general trying to tell them about themselves. I mean,
Right.
Angela, you sit here
All
with
the
these
time.
guys. I mean, so I think that she's going to be okay, though. I mean, she's extremely strong, and all the criticisms about the Willie Browns or the criticism about who she's married to now and all of those things, you just set those to the side. That's just noise. I just want to know what she's going to do for this country, and I think she has an answer.
What about the former CEO of Starbucks? What's his name? Schultz?
Howard Schultz.
Howard Schultz.
Yeah, man.
What do you think about him and him
So
running as an
Waste of time.
independent and not seeing color?
So, I mean, it just shows you that Howard Schultz built a $1 billion company. He convinced us to buy $9 coffee, and you can still be ignorant, right? Like Ralph Northam, the governor of Virginia, down in Envy's part of the world, you can be a pediatrician. You can rise to the level of be governor, and you can still be ignorant. I mean, white privilege in this country will take you pretty far, and you can still be ignorant to the concepts of race. I know Howard Schultz said he doesn't see race.
He didn't see color, right?
Doesn't see color. I mean, that's absurd. I want you to see my blackness. I want you to see the benefits and the richness of my culture and what it brings to the table, and put some value on it. So I don't know. I mean, I think he's out. I actually think, I'm not a big conspiracy theorist, but I think he's running to ensure that Donald
Trump wins.
Yeah, gets another term in office, which
really
could be possible.
I've heard that theory because he'll take away a certain percentage.
Yeah, because Republicans ain't voting for him.
Yeah,
right. So that's going to take some of the Democratic votes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, he'll siphon off enough. And remember, this last election in 2016 was won by about 90,000 votes in 3 states, in Philly, in Michigan, and Wisconsin. Those were the 3 states that Donald Trump won by together less than 100,000 votes. And it's a very close race. And if Howard Schultz takes away 100,000 votes here or there, then Donald Trump is president again.
When you were shooting the doc, you said 1 in 5 white people vote
Democratic.
Republican, right?
Democratic in South Carolina.
Democratic, yeah, vote Democratic. Hey, can those numbers increase or can they change?
I hope so. I mean, the only way you'll be able to win in South Carolina is if they do. South Carolina is a little different from North Carolina and Georgia. You see, Georgia has a large immigrant population. Georgia has the city of Atlanta, which is continuously growing, and so you had these little pockets where you have a lot of Democratic votes. In North Carolina, you had a Research Triangle. You have Charlotte. South Carolina, we really don't have that. We have Charleston, but it's hard to find those Democratic votes. And I got like 43% of the vote. Yeah. And so you did good, but it showed you we still got a long way to go. There will be a black governor of Florida like Andrew Gillum. There'll be a black governor of Georgia like Stacey Abrams. Probably before there'll be a black Democratic statewide office holder in South Carolina.
I mean, that's interesting because everybody wants South Carolina, even in the presidential race. So.
Well, that's because we're the first primary in the South, so you got to come. I mean, you got to come and eat barbecue. You got to come shake hands and kiss babies. You got to come, clap on beat in church. I mean, you got to do all of those things, and so that's very important. So we'll see, but it's just not a place where it's hard to win statewide. We still got these. We just took the Confederate flag down.
Just took it down, and it took 9 people to get killed for that to happen.
Yeah, we just took it down in 2015. So you got to remember, we've made a lot of progress in this country, but we still have a long way to go. So
you don't have a favorite candidate yet?
I like Kamala. I mean, she's my favorite. Yeah. But I want to say I like Sherrod Brown from Ohio. I like Pete. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, so forgive me. But Buttigieg, it's like Buttigieg.
I don't even know if you're right or not, so I can't correct you.
He's the mayor. He'll be up here. He's the mayor of South Bend, Indiana. Mm-hmm. He's a openly gay. Well, he's married, veteran. He's a dope dude. You
gonna say openly? He's openly gay?
Well, he is gay. He's married. Oh, okay. So yeah, Amy Klobuchar. Mm-hmm. So I like a few, but I think Kamala has the best chance to win.
Do you ever worry about?
I hope all of them come through here.
I hope so too.
Yeah,
because you said it when you was running, it took a toll on your health.
Oh yeah.
So I can imagine what they're going through.
Oh yeah, I can't even imagine running for president. I mean, I have ulcers. I got anxiety.
Right.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
The mental health, the issues that and especially now when you're running for office in this new age social media environment. I mean, life is like a comment section, which is the worst part. It's like trolls digging at you every day. I get Google alerts. And this morning I woke up, right, and I had a Google alert. It was 4 a.m. before I flew in, and I was trying to get my 6 o'clock flight. So I rolled over, looked at my Google alert, and I was on Lipstick Alley.
Right? What?
So I was, I like to see just to make sure, I cover all your bases, make sure it ain't something from way back when. Yeah. And, they up there talking about my kids. Like they talking about a picture I posted and saying I have an ugly child. It's like women who have nothing else to do with their life. And they have like 40 comments.
That's probably because they think you're married to a white woman.
But they actually posted pictures of my wife, and they were going in. Okay. They were going in about my son because I posted a picture of him, and he had his eyes, and he was looking all, he was just.
Man, you 30 days. You can't even look at certain Google alerts.
Yeah, so
congrats on the twins, by the way.
Thank you. And so, but it's just those type things that you know. You
That's
just
why sometimes you just have to not even pay attention. I'm very good at like posting something, and then I just don't pay attention to it. Or if I see certain things, I already know it's not going to be something positive if I go on this particular site.
You can't waste your energy.
Just don't even do it.
Yeah, but the problem with when you're running for office is you get all of these lies that circulate. Like, Kamala Harris has all these lies that circulate. Or, you have Willie Brown write an op-ed piece about the fact that y'all had a relationship 30 years ago.
Why? That was so lame.
No,
why
that
would
was
you
lame.
do
He
that?
violated every part of the G code. But you have these things, and if you don't address them, then they get baked in, and people begin to believe that's who you are.
I would need somebody on my team to be like, okay, what are the things I need to address?
Well, you try to, but it takes a toll on you regardless.
Yeah.
It takes
No,
a
I
toll
agree with
on your
that.
family.
So will you run again?
Oh, yeah,
all the
yeah.
stress and everything?
Yeah. No, I want to run for Congress again. I mean, you just got to learn how to compartmentalize that. And hopefully whenever, like I say, whenever y'all hire Jim Clyburn at the Breakfast Club, and I'll have when he can be the fourth person, I'll run for office. So that's my next step. Hopefully it's in 2020 or 2022 and get back out there. And
Can a black person still change politics? Because that's the other thing people say. It's no black person that can change politics.
I mean, I firmly believe that our people can do absolutely anything. I think not only did we show we could be president of the United States, but we can actually shift the direction of the country. And we're going to need something after Donald Trump. I mean, everybody's running for president now because because it looks like anybody can do it.
Yeah, that's what people think.
I mean, because Donald Trump did it.
Because it's happening.
Yeah, because
That's not good, though.
That's what y'all gave us. This is what New York gave us.
Yeah.
New York gave us. You stopped being the capital of rap in the world, and you gave us Donald Trump.
That's
I mean,
a fact.
that's horrible, man.
That is a fact.
If Donald Trump wanted to come up here, would we interview him?
You better.
Absolutely.
And you better be honest with him and
Absolutely.
interview with him and hold his feet to the fire.
He would never come up here.
He lacks the awareness enough to walk in here. And I would hope that you would hold him accountable for the things that he said. And the first question I would ask Donald Trump, I mean, you kind of would have to, being in this environment, I would say, before we begin, if we're going to go further, we would like for you to address whether or not you're going to apologize to the Central Park Five.
Yes.
I mean, you're right here
First
in New York
question
City.
in New York.
You're in New
And
York.
admit that you're wrong.
And admit, you got to apologize and admit that you're wrong, that you asked for the lynching of these 5 black brothers, and that are still here today. And it's hard for them to. I mean, they're known as the Central Park Five.
Yeah.
And then people imagine trying to go get a job, and you Google that, and they're like, oh my God, maybe they did, and then maybe they. So it's harsh out there.
I can't wait to see his tweets about Ava's Central Park 5 movie. Ava doing Central Park 5.
He ain't gonna.
Because I know she's depicting him the way he needs to be depicted.
He would have to accidentally see it. Like, he would have to accidentally walk in another room in the White House and see it. But Omarosa ain't there, so who's going to be playing it?
You'll probably see somebody tweet about it and then respond to that tweet without knowing what it's about.
He blocked me on Twitter about 4 years ago.
Wow.
3 years ago.
He tweeted at you, too.
He did.
And then blocked you?
That's what I'm talking about. How do you tweet about somebody and block them so they can't even see what you're saying about it?
And
I heard that was him who started the Lipstick Alley thread about your
really?
That's what I heard.
I wouldn't doubt it. But nah, he's an interesting guy. He just again, he shows you what privilege will get you in this country. There's no way in hell any of you all can be that mediocre.
Hell no.
And be president of the United States.
Hell
Be president
no.
of anything. They wouldn't even let you be president of your Boy Scout troop.
Right.
And be that mediocre.
Yeah.
And here he is, president of the free world with access to nuclear weapons.
And you talk
Scary.
about the toll that things like this can take on your family. How does your wife feel about you running again, and how difficult has it been for her?
She's very, very supportive. We've been supportive of each other. I mean, that's one of the things. I talk to Charlamagne all the time about marriage and children and all of those things. Because he's old. Charlamagne's old.
Mm-hmm.
And people don't know how old he really is, but he's seen a lot and gives
It's on his shirt.
and gives some good advice. But one of the things that I did, I was on a reality show with my wife when we were still dating. We got engaged. And Love Thy Sister came on before the Braxtons on WeTV back in like 2015 or so. And I did that to support my wife. And now she has a hair care line, Rucker Roots, and they're going to be in Target now. They're in Sally's. They're doing all of that stuff. And, I'm being supportive of that. And she's very supportive of me. And I think that's what it takes, because marriage is a partnership.
It is.
It's a job. It's a partnership. And it can't run on love alone.
Nope.
Because if you try to make it run on love alone, you're going to run out of gas.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't that much love in the world to make a marriage work. And so we're partners, and we believe. And now we have 3 kids, but we have two new people in the house. And so we have to work extremely hard to give them something to live for.
And it takes work. Like, it's constant work.
Every single day.
Every single day. Yep.
And they always right. Y'all always right. Even when you're wrong. Even in your apologies.
They always right.
Yeah.
I will say, I do feel like I'm always right in my relationship.
We know. We listen.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I thought you've been up here in your relationship.
He never tells me I'm wrong.
Who you dating now?
The same boyfriend I had for the past 4.5 years, but he'll never be like, you're wrong. I'm always
Have y'all
right.
seen him?
I haven't. I don't know.
Yes, they have.
I don't know who he is.
Shut up. They lying.
I really don't. I don't know.
Is this like Tommy's job? Or
Yeah,
what?
they like that.
Sort of.
Do you post pictures of him?
I have.
I'm going to have to go look.
I never seen him shit before.
I never seen him.
Envy, really? All right, I'm going to tell him you said you don't know him now.
I didn't know. Everybody thought Angela Yee was okay. All right.
You thought Angela Yee was out yet? I thought you was out yet.
She just you got less people showing up at your parties now. The fellas gonna be like, I ain't even going now.
I ain't going no more.
She got somebody. Ain't no need for me to go.
And a lot of people after watching your documentary, they want you to get back in politics full swing. I know you've been getting those tweets and
yeah. No, and I hope people get involved. I mean, one of the things that I've always told people is you got to be a change agent. I mean, if you guys do a great job. It's like your show has morphed, right? Because it used to be a show where people just came up here to have fun in the mornings, right? But now not only do you have fun, but you get to take something out of it, and you get some type of knowledge acquisition, something that helps you go out in the world and change the world around you. And this documentary does the same thing. So hopefully you'll want to do just that much more in your daily work.
Yeah, I think it's reflective of the times that we're in too. You know, it's very urgent for us right now to put out certain messages because of what the world we're living in.
Yeah,
we need that.
I mean, especially now. You know, in King's I Have a Dream speech, everybody talks about the rhythmic cadence of I have a dream that one day we shall, but he talks about the fierce urgency of now. And there's no more important time, than right now, because, black people in this country, Muslim people in this country, immigrants, gay people, women in this country, they're all, my grandma say you can't fall off the floor, and everybody feels like they're on the floor together because of all the oppression and things that you're going through. So we have to kind of not be selfish in our struggle and begin to help each other out. And it starts in places like this and platforms like this.
Word.
Well, we appreciate you for joining us, man.
Yeah,
I'm thankful always.
I can't wait for you to run again. We always support you. We'll, ride out for you as always, man.
Let me know when y'all coming back down to South Cat or North Carolina.
Yeah, we're all in Charlotte this weekend.
Yeah, we're all in
Maybe
Charlotte
this Saturday.
Yeah, y'all letting people in free to the party because the way my student loan's set up.
No, you good. You good.
I'm good.
You good. You
Man, I come to
you.
y'all day parties, man, and your day party start at 12 and it end at 8. But I get there like 1, and by 4:30 I can't make it no more.
Yeah,
and y'all already be
And we're still
y'all
not
don't
there.
y'all at the hotel.
We having that March 2nd.
March 2nd.
Got Duval hosting, little Duval hosting.
Duval, the whole empire will be there actually, so it's gonna be a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, we'll be
Who,
there.
Cookie and Lucius and even Justice Smollett?
Not Empire, forget it.
Well, that's what who's the Empire?
Empire
He's
is the
talking about
record
the
label he
show.
signed to.
You say that like they cash money or something, like young money, like we know who on.
Is somebody
Empire.
else on Empire?
A lot of Empire is a huge distribution label.
This is-
Longway is signed to them.
Oh.
Luke Nasty signed to them. Duval is signed.
Oh, okay.
I don't know too many others.
Oh, all right.
Well,
I think Black Youngster, isn't he on there also?
Black Youngster is
No,
Damn,
but,
I ain't
but
coming
you just
now.
said that one. I ain't know about that one yet.
I'll be
Black
there.
Youngster's a guy.
My girl
I'll
Molly
be there
Brazy.
if it ends at 8. I'll be there at 7 by the time y'all get
There
there.
you go.
And go scream, while I breathe,
While
I
I
hope.
breathe, I hope on PBS.org. And thank you and shout out to everybody back at home.
All right, it's Bakari Sellers. It's the Breakfast Club. Good morning.